Hey everybody, how's it going? As you can see, they have released the details of the buffs. If you've been following yesterday's Monster Strike news, you would have noticed that 84 characters are going to be buffed one way or another. They only revealed 3 on stream. Here is the rest of the 81 that will get buffs. So unfortunately I don't have them translated on screen, but I will go over them for you, and hopefully by this time there is a translated version on the wiki for everybody to pull. But I'm just gonna probably release this in the afternoon, so at least in the meanwhile you can take a look at what is there for buffs anyways. So first things first, let's just go in order. As you can see, Zenigata, a drop monster, is getting a buff, and it looks fairly straightforward. The evil form is getting a boost to its killer on the gauge. As you can see, the Kobu's killer here is upgraded to an L, and then its ascended form, the bump combos get upgraded here from the let's see, the Shockwave is increased to the Chokyo version, which is, you know, the super struction. I think that was the English term. Just increased in power there. The sub bump combo is also buffed from the just the short boop boop boops. It turns into the medium ranged. I think that's the one that Aramis has. She was the first one to get that bump combo. So I mean, it's a drop monster, so that's not too bad. Agnamu X is getting a buff. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's that big of a deal, at least from my humble opinion. She's getting a bonus wood resist on the main, and that's it for ability wise. Her bump combo is increased from a piercing 8 to the Chokyo version of it, and increasing it to 12. The blast is also increased to an EL version compared to its L currently. Strike shot is sped up by 4 turns, so instead of 20 plus 4, it is now 16 plus 4, and her speed stats will be increased. I don't know, that really doesn't help much. I feel like maybe I'm wrong. I don't see it though. Ruby, we can go to 1687. This is the version that was not shown on the stream, the evil form. The cross laser L, or cross laser L is increased to an EL version. Great, and the strike shot is sped up by 1 turn from 21 to 20. This is the one that reveals or does extra damage to weak points. Yeah, at least it'll make sure it's, you know, lands on her turn when it moves, right? I think that's what that one will do. Ascended form you saw on the stream, it increases that dunk laser EL to a twin dunk laser EL, and it also increases the homing from a standard 8 to the Chokyo piercing version. And it's only 4 of them, but since it's super and piercing, much better. Alright, Susano, one of the first transcendent monsters, getting a buff here. His damage wall is increased to super damage wall, which means if you hit a damage wall, you will do extra damage instead. And his strike, before that, his bump combo, that slice and dice, is increased to the Chokyo version. Again, more damage is always good. Strike shot is changed so that the the shots that come out of him every time he bounces off a monster are now piercing. I think that would mimic as to what Bach had, if I'm remembering correctly. And his attack stats will be increased. Always good. And also from the early Transcension crowd, we've got Mundus here, who I really wish I had, because he is one of my favorite monsters back in the old days. He is getting a boost ability wise from the Null Gravity Berry to Super Null Gravity Berry. His homing increases from 8 to 18, and his piercing homing is replaced with the Ogigata short range attack. It's the one that Yoshida Shoin Ramiel ascended form has, I believe. Just like in a kind of like a wedge shape, it'll just shoot out some piercing shots. just like short range. It's not piercing, but certainly better than only 8 of them. So, I mean, assuming you're close range. And his attack stats will be increased. They did say on stream that would be increased by 1500, so getting that up to the 25,650. Sure, pretty darn good. Freeze. I definitely have her, right? No, not in this game. Freeze is not this form, but the ascended form. Oh, nope, sorry. Evil form. Let's see. So it is getting another Slayer. It's going to be on the main, the Uniba Slayer. And of course, that would mean the bump combo will take advantage of that Slayer. The bump combo also is going to be increased from 8 and upgraded to the Chokyo version and have 12 of them too. The ascended form likewise is going to get a Slayer on the main. Instead, for this form, it's going to be the Yosei Sprite Slayer. The bump combo change is the same, increases from 8 from the standard piercing to the Chokyo piercing 12. Strike shot is also reduced from 30 to 24 turns. This is a meteor follow-up attack. Alright, let's fly over to 1861 where we get Miyamoto Musashi, one of my most used characters actually, since he was my second gacha monster I dropped in the JP version. The Horizon Laser L here turns into Twin Horizon Laser EL. So that's going to be some fat lasers. And the reason why I like using him a lot is that he is a Dark Slayer M. And that's all he has. He doesn't have any other abilities, but he was an amazing damage source. And honestly, it was pretty fun just to see what stages I could bring him in and just dish out an insane amount of damage. And now that it's a Twin Horizon Laser EL, it's not only doubled, but they're going to be fatter too. So that's pretty cool. His Ascended form is also very solid. It drops his Slayer to the gauge, but you also get no gravity barrier out of it, which also proved to be very useful in a bunch of stages. Again, the only change here is with the bump combo that Vertical Laser L is going to be changed to a Twin Vertical Laser EL. So sort of similar change there. The main bump combo is just basically doubled and increased. Next up, we're going to skip a few thousand entries and go to Yosen here, which I actually used a lot for, was it Horai, I think? Anyways, the bump combo Cross Laser EL is going to be upgraded to a Reflecting Cross Laser EL. Kind of what, like Verdandi, the old Verdandi had, right? So, I mean, definitely an upgrade. Bouncing it off means you get a better chance of hitting things. The other form here, the Ascended form, which I actually don't think I've ever used this form. The Slayer here on the gauge is increased to an L. So, you know, those kind of like specialized monsters, they could have a good amount of usages, maybe, depending on what X-Flag decides to do. Skilla, that is a drop monster. I think it's the Takoyaki one, right? The evil form is just getting an extra ability here. It's going to get the Null Magic Circle ability. Here's the Takoyaki form, the Ascended one. This form will instead get Null Wind on top of the Null Warp that it already has. It is a drop monster, but we'll see if that actually comes in handy anywhere. Next up is another Transcension that we got early on in its lifespan. Ra here, she is getting upgraded. Her Mao Slayer on her main is increased to the M version, and her bump combo is increased just in count. It is already a Chokyo piercing homing 8 that gets upgraded to 12, and the blast also gets upgraded to the Chokyo version as well. Now, here is probably one of the big winners of the upgrades. We're going to go to Zeus Transcended, and as you can see, I have him. That is awesome. So first is the resist. He has an all elemental resist right now. That gets increased to an M. On top of that, his bump combo, the blast turns into a Chokyo version. But what's important here is the strike shot. Right now it's all the monsters you touch will get a lightning strike down on them. Now it's going to change it to all monsters touched is going to be turned into the HP absorption mode. Basically Tiara strike shot. That's pretty darn good. I have always wanted to use that. I don't have a Tiara, but Zeus is a flight null damage wall monster. He takes less damage from all elements. And now his strike shot is going to be able to turn all monsters he touches into that HP absorption mode. Zeus is definitely a big winner in my mind here. We'll see how it turns out, but I am super excited to see him in action there. Next up, we're going to go to Nanami here, who is getting a decent boost as well, I feel like. She is getting a strike shot turn accelerator on her main, which is if you're under 50% HP, you're going to get an extra strike shot reduction. So you can fire your strike shot faster, which is always good. That is on the main. Her breath is increased to the Chokyo version, which I think is what Goemon has. Yeah, so that should have a much larger reach, so it can do a lot more damage. Very nice boost. Her sub bump combo is also increased from the short range spread shot to the mid range spread shot, again what Aramas had. And strike shot is reduced from 20+4 to 16+4, again with that strike shot turn accelerator. There's a good chance you could start using her strike shot at a much faster pace, and since it is the kick up strike shot, being able to do that quicker is definitely going to be very good for sure. Next up is Takirentaro here. We've got the Evo form. Simple change on the gauge, it's going to get a strike shot reducer bonus. I mean, strike shot is only speed up power up, so whatever. For the ascended form, the piercing bump combo is upgraded to the Chokyo version, Pierstruction. Next up, we've got Anderson. There we go. This one is just getting a buff in the Slayer. The M on the Seikishi Paladins is increased to an L version on the Evo. In the Ascended form, we're going to get a strike shot reducer added to the gauge. It's the he has a lightning attack around him, so as you move around, anybody in contact with that circle takes some damage there, so doing that at a faster pace I guess is good. Bump combo count is increased. It is already a Chokyo piercing, so it's going to go from 8 to 12, and his base attack stats will go up as well. Dante. She? Okay, she. Only has null warp right now, but that is going to get upgraded to status recovery and super null warp. So definitely a nice boost there. Strike shot is reduced to 24. This is a follow-up lightning attack, so kind of like the meteor strike shot. Definitely makes it much more viable gimmick-wise there. Ascended form, the flare is increased from just the standard one to the Chokyo version, and the strike shot is reduced by 6 from 30 to 24. Same strike shot as the Evo. Gimlet, Mr. Salad here. Let's see, he's gonna get his Dragon Slayer. Oh, sorry, no, this is the wrong one. Gimlet is gonna get a buff from standard damage wall to super null damage wall. He is also getting all element resist, and so that is a triple ability all on the main. There's no gauge still for Gimlet, so flight, super null damage wall, all elemental resist. So it doesn't really let you bring him to more stages, but I guess he'll take less damage, so I don't know. I guess he'll dish out more damage too. Bump combo is increased from 8 to 12, the count from the main, the Chokyo Kansu, and his standard piercing homing is changed to another set of Chokyo Kansu homing. So he just has another set of super homings. I forget what element his sub-element was, so you'll get 2 types of piercings going. His HP and attack are both going to be buffed as well. Siegfried is the next one. And for him, this is what I overlooked. The Dragon Slayer is going to be pulled up to the main and also increased to M, which means his bump combo is not going to be able to take advantage of that. And his null warp stays the same there. It also says that the gauge is going to be slightly easier to hit success on, so it won't be as tight and small as it used to be. The bump combo, it's already a twin way laser EL. It is going to be turned into a twin vertical laser EL, so you do not have to position him at the bottom of the screen anymore. He will just take up that whole vertical way now. And again, since that Dragon Slayer is now on the main, the bump combos will now take advantage of that. He's going to be a great source of damage, I think, there. And you know, making his gauge easier to hit means you don't have to worry about missing your warps. And again, since the Slayer is on the main, you're always going to get it now. The bump combo is also going to get increased from a standard piercing sub bump combo, to the Chokyo version of it. Reduced a little, but since it's going to get the Chokyo version, extra damage. Now, here we go. This is the big winner of today. I feel like Lancelot X, this beast. As you can see right now, it's just Gravity Bear with Recovery and Dark Slayer on the gauge. It is now, he's going to be completely different here. The Recovery is now a Recovery M, and it's now on the main. He is also getting super null Gravity Barrier, which means once he hits the Gravity Barrier, he's going to speed up. His gauge is now going to be a Magic Circle boost. So if you go over a Magic Circle, he'll turn into a chicken, but instead of being reduced damage, he's going to give extra damage. Kind of like Kanan. Wow. So he gets an extra ability, which is Null Magic Circle. Everybody hates Null Magic Circle. He also still has his Dark Slayer on it, so you can bring him to stages that normally doesn't make sense for a fire type. In addition to that, his sub-bomb combo Energy Circle is increased to a L version. His Strike Shot is also reduced by 4 for 16 plus 4. Again, his Strike Shot gives him all those null abilities. He turns into a Pierce, and damage walls, barriers, warps, and mines are nullified. So he is going to be a machine now, I feel like. Not only is he have the support aspect of him, he has the extra speed, he has the extra damage output, he has the Slayer. Well, I mean, he already had that, but this is going to be good. And I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but since that Recovery is now on the main, yeah, that's really good. Pretty darn good. 2392 is just another copy of Miyamoto Musashi, so the changes are the exactly same as the Ascended version that we went over earlier. No need to go over that. 2427 is Genghis Khan. I'm not sure many people use him anymore, but he's getting 2 boosts. His Paladin Slayer is increased to M, and his damage wall on the gauge is increased to the super damage wall. Again, more damage, which is always good. The sub bomb combo is also upgraded from an L4 bouncing laser to a EL4. Fatter lasers, more damage, always good. Unfortunately, it's just making him better at what he's already good at, so I don't know. If he's still Yamatake, I guess. Anthony D is getting a boost as well. That vertical laser EL is going to turn into a twin vertical laser EL. More bump combo damage. His base attack stats will also be increased for the Evo form. The Ascended form is going to see a boost in his Slayer on the gauge. It's just going to increase that Universe Slayer to Universe Slayer L. Let's move on. 2442 is Monst Pendulum. I think he's a drop monster, right? Yep. Oh, it's Kevin Morikawa, huh? Okay. Or Midorikawa, sorry. Let's see. Slayer is increased from Mao Standard to Mao M. That should give him some extra damage there. And the yes, the Waterbillion Ascended form is just gonna get an extra dash on the gauge. So I mean, it is pretty slow, so I guess it makes him somewhat more useful. Maybe if you max select him, that'll come in handy. Next up is Percival. I actually used Percival a bunch in the the Gyokuro 2. What was it? Tsukiyomi 0? No, Kai. I think so. Anyways, Evo form. Actually, both forms. It's just increasing the bump combo from 8 to 12. Okay. Did not. Never mind. Let's keep going. Next is Cleopatra. I think she was one of the first elemental monsters to get a Transcendent. Nah, I shouldn't say that without checking my work. But her main ability, Gravity Barrier, is going to be upgraded to the Super Null Gravity Barrier. She still retains the Recovery M on her gauge. Her bump combo changes from a standard poison spread shot to a Chokyo version of it. So probably does a lot more damage on contact, as well as maybe it's poison potency. Who knows? The strike shot is reduced from 25 plus 5 to 24 plus 4. I'm sure depending on which player number she is, maybe that makes a difference. But there is going to be some adjustment to the strike shot strength. So basically any monster she touched afterwards, they would explode afterwards. It looks like that's going to do a bit more damage than before. She's also going to get a boost to her standard attack stats there. So I guess we'll have to see how much of a change that strike shot blast ends up being to see whether or not it's a big win or not. Next up is Ymir. Ymir was used a lot for, what was it? Was it 23 back in the day? Back when there weren't much choices? It's been a while. But the standard form is going to get an extra dash on the gauge, so that gives it a little bit more speed when you need it. The strike or the bump combo is increased from a cross laser L to a reflecting cross laser L. Again, similar to old school Verdandis buffs. This is the form, yeah. We got Deity Slayer M. That Deity Slayer M is turning into an L. So if you still need drop monsters for 23 in the Tower of Champions, just got better. Angerbosa. This is a Geki Kyukyoku, right? Nope, it's a level star 5 or lower. That Kemono Killer Beast Slayer is increased to an M. Alright, simple. Next up, we've got Galaxy Serpent getting a buff. The main is just going to get an extra laser stop ability, so it's just going to cut off that laser now. The Ascended form is going to get Recovery S. Oh, no, it looks like it's increased from S to Standard. There you go. Yeah, okay. That's pretty cool. Next up, we got Kesaram Pasaran, number 2590. This is the one that's going to get an extra Recovery S on the main. If you use her, I guess. Lovely Dory. I remember her being all the rage when she came out, being a farmable, no damageable, no gravity barrier monster. It just didn't exist back then, so that was pretty cool. She is going to get Soko Jikara, that is inner strength. So if you're under 50 HP, she's going to get a boost in damage. That is on her gauge. Added, her bump combo is increased from the Kansu Kaksandan, the piercing, short range shockwave? Shockwave? No. Short range burst, I guess. That's going to be upgraded to the Chokyo version of it. I'm sure it'll do just a decent more amount of damage. She also does have an Ascended form, which I've never actually looked at. On top of the damage wall, she's going to get Dark Resist on top of that. Eldorado was featured in the stream, so hopefully you are aware of that, but all it does is going to... well, not all that it does. It's going to be a decent upgrade. It increases on its main ability to have no magic circle, and on the base the recovery is upgraded from S to a standard version. So who knows, Eldorado looks like maybe he'll have some chances to shine again. Maybe it's a little suspicious that he gets no magic circle. Lancelot X, who is a Dark Slayer, also got no magic boost. Maybe that next Dark Impossible Gozetsu? I don't know. Would be interesting. They both have heal too. Anyways, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Panther G, as you can see, I still have her in her base form, so maybe I'll actually get some use out of her. Her? Yes, her. The Evo form is gonna get a new Slayer. It is gonna get the Mazoku Slayer M on top of her null gravity bear on her main, so that could be a nice combo. There is a lot of Mazoku, minions on the stages. Pretty cool. The Ascended form is gonna get Strike Shot Reducer added to the base, as well as Dash on the gauge. So, Strike Shot, what is it? Speed up and increases damage as the more monster you kill. So I guess getting that dash is going to be helpful. Sure. We'll see if I can get some use out of her. Next up we got June. I remember that being the level from hell. Oof. Let's see. Her Evo form is going to get an extra Slayer. She right now only has Paladin Slayer L. It's going to increase to Kobotsu Slayer L. Was it Etherean, I think? Interesting. June on the Ascended form is just going to bump combo boost. The Piercing 8 is going to be the Chokyo version of it. Princess Kuron here, she's just going to get the same treatment there. The Homing 8 Piercing version is going to turn into a Chokyo version of it. Count is unchanged there. Skilla number 2757 is just a skin of the existing one, so it's the same one that we saw earlier. Getting an extra null wind ability to her current set. Lancelot X, again, this is the summer form of him, So he's going to see the same buffs attached to him that we saw on the generic version. The next one is Vlad Zepesh 2925. Well, he is a drop monster that Paladin Slayer is increased to Paladin Slayer M. Apple, I use her. There you go. Apple here, 3032. That null warp is getting upgraded to a super null warp in her Evo form. The ascended form is just going to get a added boost to her Minesweeper M that will now turn into a Minesweeper L. Again, just makes her better in the stages that you could have normally brought her to. Alright, we're almost done. Cleopatra 3082, that's just another version of her. The Christmas version, so she's going to get the same upgrades as her base form. We're starting to get into the super new ones. 3129. Asagu. That spread shot poison burst, I guess, is going to turn into a Chokyo version of it. Echidna, that snake that should be a fire type. Bump combo is going to be also increased from the piercing shockwave to a Chokyo version of it. More damage is always good. Apollo. Now, unfortunately, this is not going to be the upgrade that I think a lot of people were hoping for. The Minesweeper M turns into an L, and the Gravity Barrier turns into a Super Null Gravity Barrier. So you're still going to have to deal with that random Rankidang. Who knows if you're ever going to hit anything with it, but yeah. I mean, it is what makes Apollo Apollo, so I guess you shouldn't expect that to change. The Halloween version is just another reskin, so that's getting the same exact upgrades. Pythagoras is going to get a small boost here. Where are you? There you go. It's a bump combo upgrade. It is going to change from this piercing lock-on shockwave to the satellite that Eschatology has. So that's actually a pretty significant upgrade. Whether or not you'll use her, that's a different story. And last but not least, for the 6 stars is Eldorado SP. Again, that is just a reskin of the existing version. I think from, what was it? X-Flag Park? You could get him that way. So if you have this form, he's going to get the same exact upgrades. Now there is a bunch of 4 5-star upgrades, and the early one that I feel like is worth highlighting is Amaterasu here. She's getting an impressive boost into her skill set. Right now she only has Shield Breaker. She is now going to have in her Evo form no Super Null Gravity Barrier. Retain the Shield Breaker, and then she's going to get a gauge with status recovery. On top of that, her bump combo is turning into Copy. All of her stats are getting boosted. She will change from a blast type to a balance type, but ooh, she might become the next Tchaikovsky here. Especially if they decide to go ham on shields, because there are no new monsters with shield breakers on them. So you're gonna have to rely on the old monsters, and hopefully with that Super Null Gravity Barrier status recovery, she becomes a solid support monster. And she's also one of the few monsters to have an ascended form that's, you know, not a 5-6 star monster. In this form, she's going to get Super Null Damage Wall instead of Super Null Gravity Barrier. So you can switch back and forth, really, between Super Null Gravity Barrier and Super Null Damage Wall, which is potentially very, very useful. Again, it's only a 4-5 star monster, so the mats should not be that painful either. Very interesting upgrade to see what she's going to turn into. Bump combo still retains copy for the main. The sub bump combo changes from that one-way laser L, which is worthless, to speed up S. Again, it's not going to be that significant, but definitely better than a silly little laser that just go pew. So Amaterasu looks very, very promising. Dear Lotta, you know, famous for her bump combo, strike shot, that which increases the attack of all the monsters she touches. She's gonna get super null gravity barrier, so at least she gets a little bit more traction in the stages you bring her. Freya is another one of those, I forget it was the drone or the shield breakers, but she definitely had her usages once in a while. Yeah, Beaton, which is the drone breaker. So she still has her occasional usages in those 4 or 5, the 5-star limited quests. Her bump combo is changing from this homing 12 to the Chokyo piercing version of it. Only 6, but again, it's going to be much more stronger than before. 16er Momochi here. Momochi Sandayu. Getting an extra Slayer on top of the Samurai Slayer L. He's getting a Uniba Slayer L. Just makes him more stronger on those very specific stages. No nulls, but again, getting that Slayer L could always come in handy. Chandra is dark version of Dear Lotta there. She is getting null block on top of her null damage wall. So again, maybe getting some more use in other situations. Hermes here, that damage or null gravity barrier is going to be upgraded to super null gravity barrier. Her bump combo is going to be upgraded from a piercing homing 6 to the yo-yo attack, what Ramiel has. So that should be interesting to see on a 5-6 star monster. Very interesting. Alright, we skip along a little bit to 983, and that gets us to Enkidu. That Dark Slayer is always nice to see in action. Her bump combo is going to be upgraded to all enemy lock-on shockwave 3. Right now it's just a lock-on shockwave 6, but now it will go to every single enemy. Very nice upgrade. 1084 features this potato here. He's gonna get a Samurai Slayer M. I would love to understand why a potato would get that now, but hey, sure. In addition, the blast bomb combo is going to be completely changed to the bomb spread shot, kind of like what Beethoven has. Very interesting change there. 1146, we're gonna go. Oh, okay. This I think it was like Pietra or something when it was translated in English. He's gonna get a robot slayer attached to his main ability there. He's also gonna completely change his bump combo from that lock-on shockwave to the round flash, which is what El Dorado has, right? Hopefully I got that right. That's a pretty big change in terms of strike shot or bump combo, so see how that comes into handy on those limited quests. Sagojo, he's getting an upgrade. I don't remember what his English name is, but that one-way laser L is going to turn into a twin-way vertical laser L, so no need to position him on the bottom. Pretty cool boost there. Gyokuro here, she also has the attack up strike shot, so very useful in terms of support. She is gonna get no magic circle on top of her null warp. Well, yeah, she can bring it to more places now, which is always good. Little doggy here, that Majin Slayer M turns into an L. The vertical laser L is now twin vertical laser, more lasers, and it is now going to turn into a blast type, so that bump combo is going to do a lot more damage than it did before. Kurama Tengu, number 1345. Just gonna get some null wind attached to his Minesweeper ability there. Gonna skip a lot to this, was that Space Bunny Mochi. This form over here, it is gonna get a weak point slayer attached to his ability. He also will be changing from a homing bump combo to the yo-yo bump combo, so that should be interesting to see, right? 1766, we're gonna skip a bunch. Oh hey, we got some, what was it, Peking duck? Although it is a pig, so whatever. Let's see, the bump combo is going to be changed from lock on shockwave 6 to the Bunnetsu Kansu Shogeki Ha. I think, I'm not sure if this is Moses' strike shot, or, but it's, you know, basically hits and then splits off, and it is a piercing one, so I think it is Moses' strike shot bump combo. So completely changing bump combo, and the strike shot is reduced from 16 to 16 turns. Again, it's only a speed up power up, so okay. 1816. Okay, so this umbrella dude, he is gonna get upgraded from the super blast there bump combo to the Chokyo flare. Poof. Status update. Ooh, wow, that is a low attack. That attack is gonna get boosted as well. 1870, we got MC Basho. That Minesweeper is gonna turn into a Minesweeper M, and his Mazoku Slayer is gonna turn into a Mazoku M Slayer. Very nice. Bump combo also gets upgraded from the piercing homing to the Chokyo version of it. This onion guy, definitely giving us trouble in quests, right? His Slayer is going to be upgraded from just the Mazoku to the Mafuji. So, not only does it take care of Demon, it also takes care of Demon Manserv, I think. But it's the one that handles two different Slayers in one. So not only does it get another type, it also gets upgraded to an M. And the bump combo turns in from the piercing homing to the Ogigata, you know, that fan, the one that Yoshida Shoin has. Nasubi is gonna be upgraded from the cross laser M to the scramble laser M that shoots everywhere like Babel has. It is also going to be upgraded from a speed type to a blast type, so that scramble laser is going to do much more damage than normal. We are almost done. This Lon, where are you? There you go. This guy is going to get a laser stop added to his main ability, in addition to his bump combo changing from a lock-on poisoning shockwave to a piercing poisoning lock-on shockwave. It's going to pierce now. Not bad. And last but not least, one of the more recent ones, I completely skip over all of these to give this doggy it's gonna turn into that bullet bump combo that Lisa Hawkeye and what was his name? Whatever we're trying to farm right now for the collab. Yo, that bullet Hidan. I mean, I guess he, you know, that doggy didn't really have a shotgun, right? So gonna give him an actual bullet that flies through everybody now. So for those of you who like that puppy, just got a little stronger, I think. And that, my friends, is all of the upgrades that are coming. Again, they're gonna come January 29th, 3 a.m. Japan time. There is a 2-hour maintenance scheduled to make sure that everything comes out fine there. So it is not that far away. Let me know which monsters you are most excited about. Again, I gave my opinions of what monsters are probably going to shine pretty well. Maybe we'll see some surprises hidden in there. There are some stat adjustments in there that could make or break certain characters. So we'll see how that goes when it happens. Whew. Alright, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts. We got some cool upgrades coming. So until then, bye bye.